Ugh, I can't do this. I've been sitting here at my desk for an hour, just staring at a blank screen.
What's wrong, Speaker One? You look very stressed. It's late on a Friday night. You should be relaxing.
I know, but I can't relax. I have this huge presentation from my university course due next Wednesday, and I haven't even started it yet.
A big presentation. I see. That can definitely be stressful.
It is. Every time I think about it, my mind just goes blank. The task feels so enormous and impossible that I don't know where to begin. It's a horrible feeling.
So you end up just sitting there feeling anxious and not doing anything?
Exactly. That's the perfect description. It's called procrastination, right? I am avoiding the task because I feel completely overwhelmed by it. I am worried I'm going to fail.
I understand that feeling very well. I think everyone feels that way sometimes when they are faced with a big, important project. You are not alone in that.
It's good to hear that I'm not the only one who feels this way, but it doesn't solve my problem. I still have a massive presentation to create.
Well, talking about it is the first step. Sometimes just saying, I feel overwhelmed, can help a little bit. Let's start at the beginning. Can you tell me more about the task? What is the topic of your presentation?
The topic is the impact of renewable energy on the Austrian economy. It's for my economics class.
That sounds like a very interesting, but also very big topic. There is a lot of information about that. How long does the presentation have to be?
It has to be a 15-minute presentation, and I also need to create a set of PowerPoint slides to go with it.
Okay, 15 minutes. That's a good standard length. And do you have to do a lot of research for it?
Yes, that's the main part of the work. I need to include facts, statistics, and charts to support my arguments. That's the part that feels so huge, the mountain of research I need to do.
I see. So the problem is that when you think about doing the presentation, you are thinking about the entire mountain at once. You are thinking about the research, the writing, the slides, and the speaking all at the same time.
Yes, exactly. It all just swirls around in my head, and I feel paralyzed.
I am going to tell you the most important secret for dealing with any difficult task. It is a very simple but very powerful strategy.
I am ready for it. Please tell me the secret.
The secret is to break it down. You should never look at the whole mountain. Instead, you should just focus on the very first small step you need to take to start climbing.
Break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. I have heard that advice before, but I'm not sure how to do it.
We can do it together right now. We are going to take your big, scary project and break it down into a series of small, easy, and non-scary steps. By the end of our conversation, you will have a clear plan.
A clear plan sounds like a dream right now. Okay, I am ready. Let's break down this mountain.
Okay, let's think about the very first step. Before you can write a presentation or create slides, what is the first thing you need?
I need information. I need to do my research.
Exactly. So step one is research. Now, even research can feel like a big task. So let's break that down even further. What is the first step of research?
The first step is to find some good sources of information. I need to find some articles, reports, or books about the topic.
Perfect. That is your very first small, manageable task. finding a few good sources. Where can you look for this information?
I can go to the university library tomorrow. I can also search the university's online database for academic journals. And I can look for official government reports about renewable energy.
Those are all excellent places to find reliable information. So, here is your goal for tomorrow morning. I want you to find just 3 good sources. Not 20, just 3.
Just 3? That sounds very achievable. I can definitely do that. Find 1 book from the library and 2 good articles from the online database. That's a clear and simple goal.
Okay, so my first small step, which I will do tomorrow morning, is to find 3 good sources. I already feel a little bit better. It's a task I can actually complete.
Exactly. And once you have completed that first step, you will feel a sense of accomplishment and you will be ready for the next small step.
So, what is the second step after I have my 3 sources?
Once you have your information, the next logical step is to create a structure for your presentation. You need to create a simple outline.
An outline? You mean like a plan of what I'm going to say?
Yes, a basic skeleton of your presentation. Every good presentation has a clear structure. This will guide you through the writing process. What are the 3 main parts of any presentation?
I think they are an introduction, the main body, and a conclusion.
Perfect. So, for your outline, you just need to write down those 3 headings. Then, for the main body, you can decide on 3 key points you want to talk about. For example, your first point could be about solar power, the second about wind power, and the third about the economic benefits.
So, step 2 is to just write down a few bullet points to create a simple structure. I don't need to write any long sentences yet.
No, not at all. Just a simple 1-page outline. This should be your task for tomorrow afternoon.
So, by the end of tomorrow, you will have your research sources and a clear outline. You will have made huge progress without feeling overwhelmed.
That already feels so much better than just staring at a blank page. So, what comes after the outline? The next step must be to start writing the actual content.
Yes, the next step is writing. But again, you are not going to try and write the whole 15-minute speech in one go. You are going to break it down.
So, how should I approach the writing?
You can use your outline as a guide. Your goal for Sunday could be to just write one small section. For example, on Sunday morning, you could just write the introduction.
Just the introduction? That's only a few paragraphs. I can definitely do that.
Exactly. The introduction is a great place to start. You can introduce your topic and tell your audience what you are going to talk about. Then, on Sunday afternoon, you could write the first main point about solar power.
So, I can tackle the presentation one small section at a time. A few paragraphs each day. This is a brilliant strategy. It makes the big task of writing seem so much easier. This is making so much sense. By breaking the writing into small chunks, I can get the whole script written over a few days without any stress. So, let's say I have finished writing the content. What is the next major step?
The next major step is to create your visual aids. You mentioned that you need to create a set of PowerPoint slides.
Yes, I am always worried about my slides. I don't want them to be boring or difficult to read.
The most important rule for good slides is to keep them simple. Your slides are there to support what you are saying, not to repeat it. You should never put long, full sentences on your slides.
So what should I put on them?
You should use keywords or short phrases in bullet points. And you should use a lot of visuals. For your topic, you could use powerful photographs of wind turbines or solar panels.
And I also need to include charts and statistics.
Yes, a good chart is a fantastic visual aid. It makes complex data much easier to understand. So, your next small step would be to create, for example, 5 simple, clear slides for your introduction and your first main point.
So, you have written your speech and you have created your slides. You are almost at the finish line. There is just one final, very important step left.
What is that?
You need to practice. You need to rehearse your presentation.
I was afraid you were going to say that. I don't like speaking in front of people, and I feel a bit silly talking to myself in my room.
It can be a bit strange at first, but it is the most important step for building your confidence. You should never read your speech directly from the paper. You should practice it so you know it well.
So I should try to learn it?
You don't need to memorize it word for word. You just need to be very familiar with the content and the structure. You should practice giving the presentation out loud several times. You can practice in front of a mirror, or you can practice for me if you like.
Would you really listen to my practice presentation? That would be so helpful.
Of course! Practicing in front of a friendly audience is the best preparation. It also helps you to check your timing. You need to make sure your speech is not too long or too short.
I cannot thank you enough. This has been the most helpful conversation. My mind feels so much clearer now.
I'm so glad. It's all about having a clear plan. Let's quickly write down all these small steps and create a schedule for you for the next few days.
Yes, a written plan would be amazing.
Okay, so Saturday morning, your task is find 3 research sources. Saturday afternoon, your task is create a 1-page outline.
That sounds perfect. What about Sunday?
Sunday morning, write the introduction. Sunday afternoon, write the first main point. We can continue this for Monday and Tuesday for the other sections.
So by Tuesday evening, all the writing will be done.
Exactly. Then on Wednesday, you can focus on creating your PowerPoint slides. And on Thursday and Friday, you can practice the presentation. We can schedule a practice session for you and me on Friday evening.
Look at that. We have a complete schedule for the whole week. That huge, scary, impossible task now looks like a simple to-do list.
I am looking at this schedule we have created. It's so clear and logical. I honestly feel like a huge weight has been lifted from my shoulders.
I can see it in your face. You look so much more relaxed than you did 20 minutes ago. The feeling of being overwhelmed is gone.
It is completely gone, and it has been replaced by a feeling of motivation. I am actually excited to start my first small step tomorrow morning. I feel like I can really do this now.
Of course you can. You just needed a clear path to follow. The task was never impossible. You just needed to break it down into smaller pieces.
You are right. This is a strategy I can use for any big project in the future, at university or at work. It's a life skill.
It really is. The break it down method works for everything.
Well, thank you so much for being such a good friend and for helping me tonight. You didn't just give me advice, you helped me to create a real practical plan.
It was my pleasure. I am always here to help. Now, you should close your books, shut down your computer, and go and relax. You have a plan. The work can wait until tomorrow.
You are absolutely right. The weekend can officially begin.